Hey guys, it's the Lord of Striking Thunder, previously known as Multi-Jakinator, on YouTube, and I decided to bring a deck profile to you today, and the deck profile I have been recently using is the Ice Barriers, and the Ice Barriers are actually much better than I originally gave them credit for. They do have some nice monsters, some stall power, some swarm power. They do a little bit of everything, plus they get all those great water tribute spells and traps. Well, mostly spells. But anyway, let's just get right into the deck then. Alright, first monster, Cryomancer of the Ice Barrier. Level 2 tuner. If you control another Ice Barrier, level 4 or higher monsters do not declare an attack, which is amazingly good. And when you want to attack yourself during your own turn, you can just sync with it and get out a synchro and just start attacking. Next one, Dai-Sojo of the Ice Barrier. I only run one. I don't like to run too many tribute monsters, but it has an amazing effect. When it's normal flip summon, it's changed to defense position, but your face-up Ice Barrier monsters cannot be destroyed by spells or traps. Dance Princess is basically giant Trunade for your opponent. You reveal Ice Barriers in your hand, and up to the number of Ice Barriers in your hand, you can return set spells or traps to the opponent's hand. Next one, amazing, Defender of the Ice Barrier. Basically, if you control another face-up Ice Barrier monster, your opponent can't attack with anything over the defense of this card, which is 1600. And obviously anything lower won't be able to kill it if it's in defense mode. So it's a really, really great card. And it's kind of difficult to get around unless you have a destruction spell like Dark Hole. Alright, 2 General Gantala of the Ice Barriers. I said I didn't like tribute monsters, but this monster is amazing. It is basically an end phase Monster Reborn for any Ice Barriers, and since all of my monsters are Ice Barriers, it works really well. During my end phase, I can summon basically any monster in my deck and a lot of my synchros. So it works amazing, 2700 attack, and it's a warrior, so that's awesome. Alright, this card makes this deck good. Preacher of the Ice Barrier. You can special summon if you have an Ice Barrier on the field, but if you do that, you can't special summon any level 5 or higher. But you can tribute this card to target one Ice Barrier monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And that includes synchros, any level, just any Ice Barrier. So he is amazing. So yeah. Next one, Sacred Spirit of the Ice Barrier. I'm debating getting rid of him, but if you have another Ice Barrier, he's a spirit, so he would have to return to your hand, but if you have another face-up Ice Barrier, he does not. In that case, during the end phase, I'm assuming. I'm not really sure like the rulings on this card, but I'm assuming that it activates during the end phase like its other effect. But if you have a face-up Ice Barrier during the end phase, this card's effect changes to select one monster your opponent controls and returns it to the hand. So that's pretty good. Samurai of the Ice Barrier. He's basically just my beater, and if you turn him to face-up defense position, he's destroyed and you draw one card, so it's a little bit of draw power there too. Secret Guards of the Ice Barrier. I always find that this card can be really useful, but I never draw it in the right situation, so I only have it at 1. But you can't be targeted by effect monsters, well, any of your Ice Barriers, which you should only really have Ice Barriers anyway. Strategist of the Ice Barrier. I love this card. You can basically can turn a bad hand into a slightly decent one. Like if you draw all monsters and you have Strategist, you can send one Ice Barrier monster from your hand to the graveyard and you can draw a card. So it's really, really good. Okay, on to spells. Big Wave, Small Wave. This basically can turn a level 2 or a level 3 or a level 4 into a level 7, basically a General Gantala. So it's a really good card. I'd run more, but I just don't have the room, unfortunately. Alright, Book of Moon staple. Burden of the Mighty. Most Ice Barriers aren't that strong. That like the most powerful one I have, like the level 4 or lower, at least, is the Samurai, and he's only got 1800 as it is. So Burden of the Mighty gives them a little bit more attack power and a little bit more destruction as that goes. Dark Hole staple, Heavy Storm staple. I run 2 Magical Triangles of the Ice Barrier. I would run 3, but it can and has been a dead draw. I am debating getting rid of one for maybe another MST or another Big Wave, Small Wave. I'm not sure, but definitely no more than 2, because you have to have 3 different named Ice Barriers in your hand, and that's not exactly an easy feat to accomplish. Alright, so then we got your 3 searchers. Searches any ice barrier, despite level or anything. So basically, any ice barrier I want, I can get it. So basically, any monster in my deck, which is awesome. Monster Reborn staple, Moray of Greed. I only run 1. It's kind of like Pot of Avarice, sort of, but you get to draw 3 cards and you return them from your hand. I do enjoy opening with this card and 2 other ice barriers. I mean, that's great, but if I feel like sometimes I draw it when I really can't use it. So that's why it's only at 1. And then Mystical Space Typhoon staple. Alright, so for some tech traps here, we've got Fiendish Chain. Its effect is negated. Well, select one face-up effect monster. Its effect is negated and it cannot attack. Which is just overall really good. I do like Fiendish Chain. It's saved my sorry hide a couple times. So, Gozen Match. It works great because I only have water attribute monsters, and this card ruins Twilight. It ruins anything with more than 1 attribute. So it can be very good, and it can be a dead draw. So I was debating side decking it, but the side deck in this on Dueling Network is really, really pointless. So whatever. Mirror Force staple Safe Zone. I just realized this today that you can equip it to any attack position monster. So if you hold an MST and you have a Safe Zone face down, basically if they have a monster you can't normally kill, you can equip it with Safe Zone and then destroy Safe Zone, therefore destroying the monster it's equipped to. So it's really great. It's an amazing card. It makes this deck really workable. And then Solemn Judgement and Solemn Warning, both staples. I don't like to run too many Solemns. I don't like to lose that many life points. It's just not the way I play. Okay, extra deck. I run 2 Catastor because it's my only level 5 that I can realistically get. And Catastor's good. It does great against anything that's not like dark types, so whatever. Black Rose, staple, blow up the field. Bryonic of the Ice Barrier actually does belong in this deck. The Ice Barriers have amazing synchro monsters. Amazing synchro monsters. And Bryonic is probably the best one. It's probably a tie with Trish, but I'll get to Trish later. Duloran, I think he was at 1 or at Unlimited, but he got brought to 2. I can't remember. I didn't run Ice Barriers before this format. But return any number of face-up cards you control to the owner's hand, and it gains 500 attack for each of them. I kind of wish that it was any card on your field. That would be amazing. But he's still good. He's at level 6 that I go into sometimes just to sync for a level 8. So it's not bad. Gungnir, similar effect to Bryonic in the fact that you discard cards, but you can only do up to 2, and it destroys them instead of returning them to the hand. It's still a good card, but it's not really in the same league as Bryonic, and I have 2 of him just because Ice Barriers. It's not difficult to get level 7s in this deck, so I have a Scrap Archfiend just in case I need that little bit of extra attack power. He's 2700, so it's not bad. Scrap Dragon. Scrap Dragon is one of my all-time favorites. Destroy 1 card on your field, destroy 1 card on your opponent's field, and it works really well. Especially in scrap decks, but it works well in any deck, I think, so it's a good card. Staple Stardust. I don't like Stardust that much. He's overrated, he's overused, and I only have 1. I know some people like run triple Stardust in every deck, but they never summon all of them, so it's not a big deal. And finally, probably the best one, I would say, Trishula. When it's synchro summoned, remove from play up to 1 card from opponent's hand, field, and graveyard. So that's 3 cards immediately gone from the game. So that's great. And he's 2700 attack, which is kind of low, but it's still good. Then I run Double Utopia, just in case I don't draw any tuners, because that tends to happen to me. I get really bad hands a lot. I'm just not lucky. So just in case I don't draw any tuners, I just draw a couple of level 4 monsters. I can get Utopia, so I have 2 of him, and I have a Roach. I don't really like Roach, but he has come in handy like twice, so he's worth it. Anyway, that is my Ice Barrier deck list, and I hope you enjoyed it. This deck is, I think it's like 9 and 3. It's fairly consistent. So you might as well give it a try. It doesn't hurt, especially if you're just playing here on Dueling Network. I mean, you might as well give it a try, I'd say. So, comment, rate, subscribe to the Lord of Striking Thunder. That's moi. And I will catch you guys all next time.